Welcome to the Biamp Warehouse Designer. In this short video, we'll give you a quick overview of the different features of this design tool. We start by entering the project name, company name, and designer name to start our design. A series of pop-up dialogues will ask you for the information we need to define your warehouse and calculate the required loudspeakers to cover it. Most of the values are pre-populated, but you can change them to suit your needs. Don't worry if you make mistakes in this stage, as we can change any parameter later if we need to. In the first dialog, we define the warehouse dimensions, location of the loading docks, and the width of the travel lane. The travel lane determines how big the traffic area around the docks needs to be. As you make changes, you will see the warehouse being drawn in the background. Then we define the roof. Here we can specify the roof type, slope or orientation, height range, and define the roof grid in case we need to align speakers to the roof metal structure. Once the warehouse is defined, we move on to the different areas inside the building. Since a warehouse can have multiple different functional areas that can have different acoustic and noise profiles, we need to define each area inside the warehouse independently. That allows us to tailor the solution to each area. The first area dialog allows us to enter dimensions, position, define whether there is a drop-down ceiling and what the height is, mounting height range, and whether the area has surrounding walls or not. The pre-populated values are automatically calculated to the maximum area currently available. In the background, you can see the current area marked with a dotted red line. The next window defines the area usage. Here we enter whether the area is for pallet storage, conveyor belts with robotic material handling or manual material handling, pallet staging, or traffic areas. Depending on the selection, there might be other parameters to specify for the area usage. The last area dialog defines the priority of the design. Here we can enter the background noise, how we want to cover the area, and whether the system is for paging only or paging and background music. These parameters are used both to pick up the correct loudspeaker for the design and calculate the quantity to properly cover the area. If there is still available space in the warehouse for more areas, you will be presented with the option to add another area. This will cycle through the three area dialogs again, allowing you to define the area. Each area will be automatically calculated to the maximum available space as a starting point, but you can adjust as needed. If instead you are done with the design, you can change the Add Another Area setting to finish and navigate to the warehouse to get a complete solution showing the direct SPL plot. The speakers in this solution are calculated based on the parameters entered for each area. If we change any parameters, the tool will recalculate speakers and pick a different model if appropriate. In this view, we can use the tabs to navigate to a specific area or stay in the warehouse. Depending on the selection, the options on the menu of the right will change, allowing you to make changes as necessary. In the case of the warehouse, the floor plan menu allows us to edit dimensions and loading docks. Here, if we add or remove a loading dock, we'll be asked whether we want to also add or delete the corresponding traffic area. If we add a new traffic area and there's no space, a dialog will indicate that you have overlapping areas. You can easily fix this by modifying area sizes or location as needed. The roof menu has the same parameters we already saw in the roof dialog. In the Acoustics menu, we can define the wall and roof materials. These values are used to calculate overall SPL in the warehouse. The pre-selected values are the most common found in warehouses. In the speaker dialog, we can see an overall plot of either the total SPL, direct SPL, or STI. We can also identify each loudspeaker by clicking the positioning detail icon in the Actions menu and moving the mouse over a loudspeaker. The level icon will show the level at the current mouse position. If we navigate to the equipment list, we'll see a full list of all the loudspeakers required for the warehouse. The menus for the areas are similar but contain parameters related to the area. As such, we can change area dimensions, origin, ceiling, mounting height, and walls in the floor plan menu. We can change the area usage details in the area usage menu, and define the background noise and surface materials in the acoustics menu. The design priority menu for the areas allows us to specify how you want to cover the area. The options here depend on the area usage. You can also specify whether the system will be used for paging and background music or paging only, and also the budget. These parameters help determine the best loudspeaker model for your warehouse. The speaker menu is similar to one we saw for the warehouse, allowing you to see a plot for the total SPL, direct SPL, or STI for a particular area. Here you also have the options to check speaker details as well as level. The ruler icon allows you to measure distances between 2 points, which is accessible in any view. You can also zoom into the area if needed. The equipment list for the area will show a list of loudspeakers required for the area, but it also provides the positioning detail option, which will give you a table indicating each loudspeaker's model, position, aiming angle, 70-volt tap, and gain adjustments. Once you're happy with the design, you can save it, which will generate a URL for you to share or retrieve at a later time. You can also export the results, which will generate a PDF document that contains all the details of the warehouse, required loudspeakers for the system, as well as individual area details, including the loudspeaker positioning details table.